Today's February 19th, 2019, and this is episode 49 of PlaneSavers. Good morning, everybody. It is minus 27 degrees. What do we got here? I think that was like a Navajo rooting or enhancing the audio today. I might be wrong. It might be a Cherokee or something like that. Let me know in the comments what kind of airplane that is. It is minus 27 degrees Celsius, minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit today. And today is a big episode. I got a lot of content, so I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's jump into it. Let's go to Texas and see if things are bigger down there.
Good morning, Mikey and PlaneSaver Nation. Welcome to Lubbock, Texas, where it is 27 degrees positive Fahrenheit. That's about -3 Celsius, which I understand gets us absolutely no sympathy from Yellowknife. The Silent Wings Museum, silentwingsmuseum.org, check it out, is home of one of the 3 remaining GC4A Waco gliders. And the one in our museum was, as I understand it, recovered from Normandy and put back together here in the United States. So when you're at an aircraft glider museum, of course the go-to plane to tow gliders is the C-47. So what would you think would be out front? Well, sort of. That is actually a Navy RD-46S. This particular one was a sub hunter. It wasn't designed to tow glider, but it is the same type of aircraft we all know and love. Now here in Lubbock, you know, she's tethered to the ground, which isn't easy to see, but she's pointed into the west, and west is where we get all of our vicious winds from. In fact, you know, they do cold weather testing in Yellowknife for aircraft. They do wind training and testing here in Lubbock, Texas, because we have such awful winds on occasion. The DC-3 is a lot like the World War II veterans. They came into their own at peacetime, and then the war came, and the DC-3 and the guy next door, you know, they suited up and went to war, came home and adapted to civilian life as best they could. You know, it's hard to look at sitting on the ground here like this, because they were born to be in the air, but you got to realize they can't all fly. And a static display is a lot better than the Scrapyard. All of our cloth control surfaces have been skinned in aluminum, I guess, for longevity in a static display. So that's a look at our Navy bird here at the Glider Museum. The Glider Museum, check it out. They've got all kinds of cool things, including the Waco glider. And they've also got a bulldozer that was manufactured specifically to go in gliders. So don't freeze up there in Yellowknife, and we'll stay warm down here in Texas because it was 77 yesterday. So if you don't like the weather in Texas, just wait, it'll change. Have a good one.
Big thanks to Texas. And now let's head over to the Channel Islands and back in time. This is 2010, and this is young Alex watching one of our Electras. Well, it wasn't ours at the time, is Atlantic Airlines, and this is Foxtrot India Zulu uniform. And him and his dad, Paul, used to come and love to watch the Electras, and now they're getting enjoyment of watching PlaneSavers because Alex is now almost 19 years old, and he's in Spain learning how to fly himself. So Paul and Alex now talk to each other, you know, once a week and talk about PlaneSavers. So I'm very happy that there's a connection, and I really want to say a big thank you to Paul and Alex for watching the show. And now another surprise from the UK. Check this out.
Hi, welcome to Roy's RC PlaneSavers. Hi Mikey, this is Roy in the UK, where it is currently a balmy 10 degrees centigrade. Just like to say what a fantastic job you're doing out there with PlaneSavers, and I've been loving watching every episode so far. My connection goes back to when I was a small child. My late father, who was also an aircraft engineer, used to look after a Douglas DC-3 for the company that he was working for. So the first aircraft I ever flew on was Golf Alpha Papa Mike Lima. This was the Martin Baker's company aircraft, and we flew from Shalgrove in Oxford up to Ayr in Scotland. She was going for a major check, and where the airplane went for a major check, that's where we went for our summer holiday. So, Mike Lima was built in Oklahoma in 1943 as a C-47B-1-DK. By 1996 she was broken up. I don't know much about her history when she left Air Atlantique, but we know that the nose section went to a restaurant in Kuwait, and I believe part of the fuselage may have gone to the film studios at Pinewood. If anybody out there has some of her military history, I would love to find out a bit more about what her history was with the RAF. So what am I doing to keep the history alive? Well, I'm an aircraft engineer and an aero modeler. So a few years back I put together my own scale model of Mike Lima. So here are a few photographs of her. She's electric powered, a 72-inch wingspan, balsa and plywood construction, built from a Tony Nyhouse plan. I'd like to finish off by saying a few words about my late father, George Thompson. He learnt his trade in the RAF and was stationed in Canada during the war. He was with the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan and was stationed with the RAF's number 32 Service Flying Training School at the RCAF station at Moose Jaw. I have a photograph album of his from that time, so I've included a few shots from the pages of that book. I hope you enjoy them. So Mikey, keep up the good work. It's a shame you can't come to Duxford, but I hope all goes well and you get to Oshkosh. Thank you very much.
I also wanted to take this time to say hello to Andy in the UK. Word on the street as you watch me every morning, which is cool. I also want to head out to Scotland, where Al is retrofitted some Buffalo stickers on his RC model, which is kind of cool. As you can see, look who's now captain of the RC model, yours truly. So I'm very excited to be flying in Scotland. Thanks, guys. And one last story for you guys today. I hope you like this one. This one's my favorite.
Hi, Mikey. My name is Dan Catcher. Well, I'm a model maker, although I do work for Air Canada full-time. My true passion is building models. I'm not a pilot. This is what I like to do. I do come from a aviation family. My father and brother are both professional pilots, and my father used to fly DC-3s back in the 60s, flying for Transair out of Churchill, Manitoba, and later on flying the fleet of DC-3s for Canadian Pacific, as well as the C-46s flying the DEW line, and Cansos, as well as the DC-6Bs. So being an employee of Air Canada, I've always wanted to do a DC-3 in TCA colors. Well, after watching your video, it has inspired me to, well, do CFTER. So I'm going to get some decals professionally made and I'll apply them on, and it's going to look pretty cool, I think, especially with the high polished aluminum effect. So here's the DC-3, Mikey. You can tell it's all done with the natural aluminum finish. I actually did each panel at a time, much like the real airplane, as well as the rivets are embossed and then glued on and then burnished on. So it's a big and tedious job, but I think the results are well worth it. Yeah, this airplane has working gear, meaning they manually go up and down with magnets. The flaps go up and down, and by turning the flaps down in the down position, you can see it turns on the lighting. So I got the landing lights, as well as the cabin lights. The cockpit is illuminated. You can see one of the red lights in there for the chart reading. Port and starboard lamps, and as well as the rear navigation light. Down and locked now. Oleos do work there a little bit anyways. And just showing you some of the rivet detail that's incorporated into this model. It's all very accurate to the full-scale DC-3. As well, I have a scale Pratt & Whitney 1830s radial engine. There's also curtains in there. So it's pretty much all set up to go TCA. The decals made and apply them on there. But Mikey, here's the cool thing. I was watching your video the other day, and well, this gentleman here is my father, Wally Catcher. This was 1958, flying the Otter for Canadian Pacific. Dad flew C-46s for the airline, and Cansos and DC-6Bs. They're just taking off. So yeah, I found that interesting. I think your fans will too, and I hope you do. And well, thanks for your time.
Man, we did a lot of traveling on today's episode. This is very cool. My favorite part is the twin otter taking off behind me. That's my favorite part of today's episode. Watch this. Hope you guys like that. Isn't that wild that a PlaneSavers viewer's dad was in that Super 8, that 8mm footage? Unbelievable connections. I love it. And yeah, let's head it off. Let's end the episode there. And we'll say, maybe Jeff Tapper will say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Jeff Tapper.